Hey everybody, this is Dragbody from the Fallout New Vegas modding community. I'm going to make a video explaining a little bit about what bone weighting and rigging is all about so that you can recognize it and appreciate it in your mods and understand a little bit about what some mods I'm going to be doing are all about. Recently I posted a modder's resource intended for the fourth horse and whoever else wanted to use it that took the second unlockable armor of Boone's and fixed some issues with it and made it more playable, more friendly to anybody who wanted to use it. I've done the same thing here with Boone's first armor, and we're going to take a look at it. This is the fixed version that I've just finished. This is the vanilla version, and we're going to compare the two. So let's just take a real quick look at the file in edit mode. In case you don't know anything about what a mesh is or a model, like I didn't when I first started modding New Vegas, what you see here, all of these points, these are vertices, and together they form triangles, and these triangles all form together to make your model. And on these triangles, this forms the surface that a two-dimensional texture is laid out on. So this is your texture, and it's folded out over this three-dimensional model. Now, the way that a model moves, you see here I've got a skeleton loaded in this and parented to this model. And this skeleton is going to be invisible whenever you're playing the game. But all of these different bones are bones that move your player or NPCs. And by the way, I've got vanilla body loaded in here, but I have breeze textures, which is why it looks funny. And I'll say a little bit more about that in a moment. But all of these bones are what are initially loaded into the skeleton, and then as the bones move, all of the vertices here have a weight that corresponds to this bone. So let's just take a look at it quickly. So here you see all these various colors. All of this darkest blue on the outside is a 0. And it's a 0 in relation to this spine 2 bone, which means if you move this spine 2, let's just say these parts of the legs. If I move spine 2, the legs don't move because it has no bone weights to spine 2. However, these dark reds, these are 1s, and that means it's going to go wherever spine 2 moves. And as you can see, things bending and moving a little bit. That means that these colors in between, the dark red and the dark blue, are in between, and they will move proportionally with this bone. And you can have bone weights spread out among different bones. And this is the vanilla file for this unlockable armor of Boone's, and you can see there are a lot of errors in it. To further appreciate this, let's just start to move a few of them. Okay, so I've got a clavicle bone here, and as I move this clavicle bone, look at the way things are stretching. The shoulder pad that would be solid is bending. The armpit is distorting a little bit more than it should. If I turn and I move the arm, you're really going to see it. See how this, what would be a solid shoulder pad, is now bending down the side of the body, and the pockets bend and distort unnaturally. Same thing up here with the neck. As I rotate the neck, these shoulder pads bend and move with it. This is not what you would expect if these were solid objects, as you are led to believe they are from the look of the armor, right? Same thing here, and as I start to go down the spine, you're really going to see things start to look funky. Here, this bandolier strap it looks like part of it's just stuck to his hips. And then watch what happens here on these canteens and pockets, these pouches. They start to look really warped. Right? I mean, this is bad. This is straight from the vanilla game that's doing this. And if we go and we look at the bone weighting itself, you'll see how uneven the colors are distributed. I mean, you don't have to know anything about bone weighting other than to know that things should be distributed evenly for something to move naturally. Something like this, you can just tell without knowing anything else that that's gonna be bad. And see, then as we move it, you see, remember a second ago I said the dark blue means 0? Well, it's not moving, even though the rest of it is. This should be a solid object, but it's stuck, and it's looking warped, right? Alright, so that's the vanilla file. Let's pop over to the file that I've fixed and see how it looks different. Here, as the arm bends down, the shoulder pads stay. They're solid. Even when you move the neck, only the scarf moves, and it moves a little bit more uniformly than on the vanilla version. As you move the clavicle, the pockets don't bend and distort, they stay solid but move accordingly. And then as you start to move the spine up, the thing isn't, they're not stuck to the waist anymore down here on the bottom. And as I get down here, the solid objects on the waist, they stay solid. Again, they're not warping. I move the leg, they don't bend. That's one thing I forgot to point out. Watch this. You move your leg and you just bend your canteen in and out. That it looks bad, right? Doesn't happen on this one. This one is more or less fixed. Alright, so I'll upload this here soon, and this will be the another of what I plan to make several re-rigged and corrected files. Ideally, I would like to just go in and take all the vanilla armors, check them out for errors like this, fix them, upload them into one file, and hopefully have it featured in the Mission Mojave Ultimate Edition. I've been contacted with those guys before, and I have to apologize that I didn't respond to the message. It sort of got lost, and I've been putting it off. So anyways, that's my goal, is I want to fix up a lot of armors like this. And by the way, I've also made it so that upper body, this is going to be invisible in first person view, so you don't have clipping if you try to aim a pistol or anything like that, but this will still be visible, and this will go away if you equip a Pip-Boy. Alright, so yeah, hopefully I'll fix a lot of these, because there are a lot of errors like this in the vanilla file. Some of them have been fixed by other modders, but I like to go through and just make it one thing that anybody can get to fix all this stuff. And here is a Breeze body. This is a vanilla body. Of course, the textures are messed up because I've got the Breeze textures. The reason I mod for Breeze, and I would recommend anyone else go ahead and get Breeze, is because as we look at the texture for Breeze, you will see, remove the penises to make this, not R-rated, and I think they're completely unnecessary anyways. You see two different textures on here. This is a texture that is 2048 by 2048, and it's got two different 1024 textures loaded onto it. This is compatible with the vanilla bodies. This is compatible with Robert's bodies. And by default, Breeze comes over here and uses these pieces. And Robert's could go over here, which means that if you have a Breeze body loaded and you download a mod with a body like this, it's automatically going to work. If you have a vanilla body, you can, on your own, if you learn how, go ahead and you can do this in NifScope as well. You don't have to do this in Blender. You can do it in an even easier program, but you can adjust the UV. The 10 by 24 texture would be about like this, and all of a sudden this body that was supposed to be Breeze now works on a vanilla body. And the same thing is if you have this and you have a Roberts body, like say you have something from Nivea, and you want it to work on your vanilla or Breeze body, you can just take it and adjust it here, and it's going to work. So if you have Breeze installed, you can make any mod with any body type compatible with the textures that you already have. You don't have to download any patches, and you don't have to look at unsightly errors like this on your body. Alright, so that's a little bit about bone weighting, about some things that I'm have and am going to fix up, and a little plug for Breeze. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for supporting a game that I love.